And so it begins.
Shall we begin?
So it begins. And now it begins. So it begins. And so it begins.
And so it begins.
Shall we begin?
Shall we begin? And so it begins. And so it begins. And so it begins.
So, shall we begin?
So, it begins.
Shall we begin?
Shall I begin? Shall we begin?
Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
For 5,000 years, I've laid dormant, and now I've risen once again. No, I'm actually recovering from getting sick a little bit recently. So if I'm talking kind of low, that's why I'm trying to not trigger my coughs. Been trying to make sure I don't cough a whole bunch. Today is my birthday. I'm turning 32. Usually I'll end up drinking on my birthdays, but this year I'm just not really feeling like it, especially with recovering from being sick. I do not feel like drinking a whole bunch. So just doing a chill little stream today. I don't live stream often on here anymore, mostly because I switched to a new computer, and for some reason my new computer just does not seem to connect well with my mic and camera or something, because after a little while they tend to just get this insane white noise in my ears, and then I have to like unplug and try to reconnect them, and maybe they work, maybe they don't. I don't know. I'm trying to do StreamYard off of Firefox this time instead of Chrome. Last time I did it on Chrome, it did the white noise. Maybe on Firefox it won't. So hopefully that'll be good. Otherwise, I'd be inviting a lot of people in here, but I don't want to bug everyone today with my computer being crap right now. But thank you people for showing up right here so far. Tom's in the chat. What's up? Says happy birthday. Thank you. Yeah, we go back with doing my old drinking streams for my birthdays, is some ones to reminisce. Maybe next year I'll try to put another one of those together. But appreciate you guys coming on by. I need to put my glasses on again. It's been a while since doing this. So okay, yeah. What's up? Says, hey, Rook. Appreciate that. Justin in the chat. What's up, man? What is up? Yeah, just doing a brief one, maybe a half an hour or so. Just getting back, touching to people, and people know I'm all right and doing good. I am going on a trip this May. Now, my father usually takes my sister on vacations and trips and whatever, Paris, New Zealand, whatever places she wants to go, ends up kind of getting taken. But for once, he's taken me somewhere, and like out of the blue, thought of it. And I was like, what? He's doing something that I'm like interested in. He's going to take me to Universal Studios. He's going to take me to Los Angeles, and we're going to see some of the movie studios there and hang out and stuff. And he wants me to figure out some things to do. One of his ideas for a Christmas gift then was to get me a book on Los Angeles to like try. So you can tell that deep cough there, right there. Just little triggers, and breathe in a certain way, and I'll start to cough, trying to hold that back in. But so yeah, to figure out what else to do there. He's like, all right, Universal Studios, awesome. What else do you want to do there? Because we're going to be there for a week, so I got to figure out what else to do in Los Angeles in May. And yeah, that's awesome. It'd be a good chance to see some film stuff. Interested in filmmaking, and that's where they do it most of the time. So yeah, I know that there's rides there. I know that there's like tours that they do of the studios. That's mostly what I want to see. My dad, I don't think he's joking, but he's like, oh, we could go see Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel or something, which I'd really rather not. Or one of them, I think, was like, let's make a deal. He wants us to be in the audience of one of the shows that they do live, but I have not figured out what would be good to do. So I got to figure out ahead of time what would actually be fun to be in the audience of. I've never been to a live show, so that'll be kind of fun to figure out. Justin's in the chat. Justin has some filming experience going on to sets and doing some things here and there. He's showing me some of his stuff, which is awesome. Says you're finally going to LA. Make sure to hit up Jesse and Kai. Oh yeah, because they're in California too. I didn't remember them being in Los Angeles, but yeah, that's possible. I don't know. I'll have to see. I'll have to check the actual area that we're going to be at again and see what's up. See if there's any people in the area that would hang or something. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Trying to look forward and see what I can do there. But yeah, that is awesome. For my birthday, I decided I've lived here my whole life, Washington, and I had no idea there was an actual butcher shop in my town. And in the last couple of years, I've gotten a lot more interested in meat and like having good burgers, good beef and stuff. And there's a butcher shop nearby, and I had no idea. So I went there the other day, and I haven't made any like I'm trying to get a little bit more into cooking too because I don't cook at all. I'm trying to get a little bit more into that, into a habit to start cooking a little bit. And I was like, okay, I can make some burgers. And I asked my brother for what he puts in his stuff. Asked a few other people what they put in their burgers. So I made something, and I got like 2.5 pounds of beef, not knowing how much I should really make for even like one patty. I was going to make maybe 4 patties, is what I was thinking of, 4 burgers, and yeah, they're really fat burgers that I made. That's for sure. It ended up being 6 patties, and each of them very big, very fat, and but pretty good, pretty darn good. Which that was nice. That was nice. And I do kind of like getting into cooking a little bit. I'm a picky eater, so it's kind of hard for me to really get into the cooking mindset because I don't like the way a lot of things taste. So why would the guy who doesn't know if something tastes good or not be the cook? But I have tried some things in the last year. I made a whole video on it too, where I tried like a kiwi, strawberry, and all these other things, which taste good. But unfortunately, like with strawberries, like, they got to be really good. They got to be ripe. They got to be the right ripeness. Otherwise, they don't taste good. Tried grapes. I like the green grapes over the red grapes. I don't like blackberries. Those weren't good. Blueberries are like tolerable. I could eat them. Bananas, I still freaking hate them. But no, no. There's something worse than bananas though, and that is pickles, man. I hate pickles. I could tolerate a banana enough. Like if I have water to wash it down, I could tolerate a banana. Pickles, I just cannot stand pickles. No way. No, thank you. Uh, Justin says, what? He says, yeah, it's mostly for television work. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Go to Winota. You'll find plenty of options. They're all free and a big chunk of your day. Okay. Yeah, I'll be taking some notes there. Yeah, I expect you, since you've been down there, to definitely let me know what else I should see down there because, yeah, you've actually been in the area. And yeah, I don't know what else we're gonna do either. I mean, we're gonna go to film studios, sure, but other than that, I mean, this is 7 days we're gonna be down there. I'm sure that my dad has somewhere he wants to go down there himself. That's what he usually does. He'll go, okay, we're going down here to do this thing for you, but also side trip over here for him. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But I don't know. What's up, Runner, in the chat as well? What's up, dude? Hope you guys are doing awesome. Yeah, it's pretty chill today. Like I said, compared to my other birthdays, I usually try to drink and I have a bunch of food and I try to get a whole thing together. But I'm just feeling so chill today that I'm just doing a little stream. And so far, I don't hear the white noise in my ear, so that's good. Maybe Firefox will be good for streaming, because if that's the case, then maybe I'll actually start making more videos again in the future. Yeah. Yep. Howlin' Ray's is the best chicken place in LA. Okay, well, then I'll check that out. The most recent chicken place that I had was, I think, Dave's Chicken. My buddy came down here to help me film a project recently, and I never been to Dave's Chicken. And they literally, for their hottest sauce, they have you sign a waiver that like acknowledges the dangers of eating their hot chicken. I personally am not a huge spice guy in general. Probably the middle tier of spice would be like a lot for my tongue. I'm not used to so much spice, but he's like a skinny white boy, and he took it and ate the highest one on there. And yeah, he's just like started out okay, it's pretty spicy, but then after like 20 seconds, his super pale white face just flushes red. It just starts turning red, and he's chugging down his milkshake and everything. That was pretty funny. It does make me want to eventually try something that spicy, but I need to work my way up to that level of spice one of these days. But that goes with trying more stuff, which is what I'll be trying to do as well. So when I'm down in California, I'm gonna be trying to try some new things there too, because I'm a picky eater again. So and I don't go to too many places too often for trips. I've been to Canada, I've been to New York, not New York City. I've been to like Buffalo, New York, that's more in like small town Amishville, basically. Been to Ohio, stuff, nothing too crazy over there either. So I'll be able to test my waters a little bit more going to LA. Now, he says, I love Dave's, used to walk there in LA. Yeah, I bet. Ask for the Hawaiian Plus at Howlin' Ray's. I recommend the hot. All I've had this year is extra hot And that's a little too much for me. Yeah. Now, again, I need to start with something lower to build my tolerance up on spice, man. Because I don't know, I don't eat that many spicy things. I have stuff with a little kick, but nothing that much really. It's not typically in my diet, but I'll get there. I'll work my way up there. But other than that, recently Lord of the Rings had their anniversary, of course, and they're playing some of the extended movies in movie theaters, which I was going to see as well. I was going to finally be able to see the extendeds in theaters. I don't remember as a kid seeing Lord of the Rings in theaters for their theatrical release. I might have seen them, but it's one of those things that I don't really have a memory of seeing them, and I would have been in early elementary school, first, second grade, something like that. And I probably would have remembered it though, because I remember seeing Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones in the theaters. I might have even seen Phantom Menace. I don't remember seeing Phantom Menace in the theaters, but I definitely remember seeing Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. But I don't remember seeing Lord of the Rings in the theaters. So I was going to take advantage of seeing the extended trilogy in theaters, and it was like early December. I was looking to even see if you can order tickets ahead of time because they're going to play in the middle of January. And I was like, okay, oh shit, there's only like, okay, there's already selling the tickets and there's only like 20 tickets left for each of the show times. And I was like, okay, I jumped on them. They were playing Fellowship on one day, Two Towers on the next day, and the Return of the King on Sunday. And they only had the one showings each day for each of the movies, so you have one chance to see each of them on each of those days. So I was like, okay, I ordered it ahead of time. It was all good. But then I got sick. I was like puking my guts out, was not doing good. And so I was like, man, I could try to go see the movie still, but I was like coughing and I just like threw up, and I don't want to be the guy in the movie theater that's like causing a huge problem, especially for something as epic as Lord of the Rings. So I chose to just cancel my tickets and not end up seeing them in theaters. So hopefully there will be another opportunity to see them in theaters one day, because those would be a cool experience. Because I never really experienced Lord of the Rings fans as much in person. I grew up around more Star Wars people, or people that like Lord of the Rings, but not in such a high level fandom capacity. So seeing that in person would have been kind of interesting too. And to see Helm's Deep on the big screen would be pretty cool. Awesome as well. What's up, Griffin? What you doing? What you watching lately? Duncan Egg, The Beauty, Wonder Man, Spartacus. Oh, so Spartacus. Yes, I've been watching House of Asher a little bit, and unfortunately, House of Asher sucks. The writers for Spartacus, the first 4 seasons are pretty good. Vengeance is probably the weakest, but still pretty decent for a show. It's just a little bit bland with how they had the protagonists and antagonists in the same locations for the first 2 seasons, where they intertwine and mingle with each other all the time and drama unfolds, just putting characters in the same scene together. And then in Vengeance, they're separated with the rebels, gladiators running away and the Romans chasing after them. Then they clash a lot more in War of the Damned, and there's a lot more stuff there that's compelling. But House of Asher is like this stupid what if sort of universe idea, where what if Asher didn't get killed? They kind of glaze over how he would have like avoided being killed, but they're like, okay, pretend you're alive, and then everything plays out the way it did. So nothing in War of the Damned and Spartacus really changes, other than pretend Asher was there and he helps Marcus Crassus and Caesar defeat Spartacus, and he's the one who actually there was a Roman who speared Spartacus in War of the Damned, spoilers, and instead of it being a random Roman, it's Asher. So he gets a little elevated, he becomes a Lanista, he's not a slave anymore, he's free, and there we go. That's the premise of the show. And it's really lame, because Asher as a character was like that classic type of sneaky character, the worm tongue, this the type of character, the little finger that's intelligent. They're not too strong in their strength. I mean, he's got some ability, sure, but he's more known for his tongue, for his intelligence, for knowing things, knowing people, doing things in a clever way, drawing things out, long plans. But then having him in House of Asher, he's the main guy who we're supposed to sort of be rooting for, but he's also not really sympathetic, really, especially with a lot of things that we know that he's done already. If it was the kind of thing where the character knows that he did die in a past life and he's like given a second chance now after all the things that he did, I think it would hit a little bit differently for the character and the way he behaves to maneuver people and to do things a certain way. But it just doesn't really work. And then, I mean, a lot of people say the show is woke, which I'd say it has woke elements, sure, but that's not why it's bad. It's bad anyway, because there's some elements, like when they introduce Aquila, she's like the black chick that ends up being the gladiator in the show. They do a lot of things with her that are good. Like they beat the crap out of her. They really beat her down. She doesn't just win all the time, but she's not interesting as a character. We're almost done with the whole season, and we barely know anything about her. Randomly, she'll be struggling to fight people for certain reasons, like she can't hold the shield, she can't lift the sword, she's just inexperienced, whatever. But then in the next episode, she's able to do a lot better, and then they just keep on skipping her up on her talent, and it was kind of confusing because she was mostly being trained to fight 3 midgets. She's being trained to fight 3 small gladiators that are kind of in the ring as a novelty to be kind of humorous, but they're also trained and pretty skilled when they work together as the 3 of them. So they're kind of a threat as the 3 together. So she's getting ready to fight them herself, being the first time a woman in the ring. But then, the way they do a lot of the stuff is really annoying. She ends up getting hugely wounded in her first fight and survives. She ends up winning, which is okay. You guys did okay with that. But then they introduce another new gladiator chick that this other guy just happened to buy after Aquila did her performance. Like this is a week later, and she's so good she beats this other character who the power level is kind of confusing on how strong people are, because they'll say that like this guy is super weak, but then he's so good. He used to he beat a champion at one point. I don't know. They keep on going back and forth on the skill levels of the gladiators and Asher's skill, and it's really, really bizarre. I don't know. I tried to get into House of Asher. It is so lame. Honestly, just watch random film talk. Watch that YouTuber's videos on Spartacus and covering House of Asher. Those are more entertaining than watching the show itself right now, the current House of Asher. Hopefully one day they'll make a spin-off show that is more supposed to be in line with stuff that the characters are doing, like following Crassus and Caesar would be nice, and having that just be taken a little more seriously would be cool, but who knows? I doubt it. I have no idea what the writers are doing anymore. So we'll see. Justin says, yeah, I remember seeing Lord of the Rings in theaters. I had to go to the bathroom so bad during Return of the King. Yeah, I'm sure he did. Everybody talks about that. Everybody was mad about the amount of endings that they had in Lord of the Rings, that they wanted to go to the bathroom, but nope, there's still a little bit more story to go. Still a little more story to go. I wanted to witness that myself to see how bad the false endings are in person, even though I'm sure they're totally fine. But anyway, so yeah, that's House of Asher. I watching it, not really enjoying it. No, it's almost over. Season's almost over. Really hoping that the writers learn what they did wrong with this season, because the writers are really good. So, like Stephen DeKnight and stuff. Like it's a good team. They're good people, and Nick Terabay, who plays Asher, is awesome. But like, just this show is just not that compelling. It's not that interesting. A lot of the characters are really stupid. It's just not compelling. But that's that show. I'm not likely going to watch Wonder Man. I just don't care whatever Marvel shows are going on. But I'll check out the Duncan Egg. Everybody's talking about that, the new Game of Thrones one. That it's saying that it's a little bit more humorous for a Game of Thrones style show. That'll be interesting because I do prefer the House of Dragon type of method, but I'll see how they handle humor as well in that type of universe. See if it fits in the world still. That'll be what I'm most curious with, I suppose. As for other shows right now, I'm kind of getting into some older shows now. I'm starting to watch Mad Men a little bit. Since I finished Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, they're both done. Getting into some other older shows like Mad Men, and that one already. I've only watched 1 episode so far. Love it already. Just pretty good so far. I might start watching The Sopranos at some point. I've heard a lot of praise for that show too. The good thing with me being a rook and not having seen everything yet still is that I still have, no matter how bad certain movies are, shows are currently coming out, I still have plenty of older ones to go back and check out and see how those are doing and see them myself. And I can watch them at my own pace slowly, especially if I buy them or if they're going to be on streaming for forever. That's fine. So that's cool. Let's see. Peter says, how about Vince Gilligan's show on Apple Pluribus? So I've not seen that show yet. I've not seen Pluribus yet, but I do plan on getting Apple TV at some point. I don't have an iTunes account, and I don't know if you need to have iTunes or an Apple account to watch that show yet, but I assume either you need that or you just need to sign up like you normally would for a streaming service and it'll be fine. I'll probably get that in a month or two to start watching. Again, it's gonna be late when I enter it, but that's kind of how I am with shows. I don't jump onto the shows usually as they're happening and cover them a whole bunch. I usually wait until a little while after they're out for a bit. I can see what people are said about it and then form my own thoughts as I watch it eventually too. And if they get a second season or something, then I might be more on board with it by that point. I've heard from Pluribus that it's really slow and not the best kind of way. Like other shows that are slow, like Game of Thrones or Better Call Saul, are slow, but they're substantive the whole way and paced well. I've heard that Pluribus is slow. They have good things in it, but there's not a lot of substance while you're going through the whole time. So I'll be curious when I watch it through if I feel the same way or not. I'm kind of rewatching Arrow as well. I remember when Arrow first came out, I really liked it, and then at some point I fell off watching the show. And then you look at what the current DC Arrow universe is, and it's like so wacky and bizarre and insane, and it looks like a huge quality drop from what it used to be. And so I'm kind of going back and seeing if Arrow actually was it actually good at first, or was it always kind of slocky and stupid and lame. And so far, watching season 1 and most of season 2 again, I would say there are some goofy bits in it, but it is mostly taking itself seriously and is trying to like be legit. It's not trying to be super goofballish. There are more references in it that I recognize that first time watching I didn't really catch. Like some characters, she's like, "Yeah, I'm going to go to Central City, and I'll be back in a flash." And Flash reference because he's in Central City. Gotcha. My random knowledge of comics and characters have increased a lot over the years, just subconsciously or through YouTubers talking about stuff, through seeing certain bits referenced on other shows. More knowledge is in my head, so watching it this way, I'm like, oh, that's what that meant. That's what this meant. There's a little bit more, in a way, there's a little bit more substance to Arrow rewatching it, knowing some more of the stuff now going through. But what I mostly like with it is the Slade Wilson character, of course, and that's played by Manu Bennett. He's also in Spartacus as Crixus and does pretty awesome. Seeing his dynamic with Oliver is really cool. Seeing how that grows and how that falls apart for a bit. I like the type of storytelling that they have where you're in the present for a good chunk of the story, but you cut back to the flashbacks to 5 years ago and seeing what happened, and you slowly see the character change to how he is now as you go throughout the seasons. That's done pretty well. But honestly, I think that's about it for the stream. I know it's not even been like a half an hour. I just wanted to come on to chat for a little bit, let you guys know how I'm doing. And yeah, I'm feeling my mucus build up again. And I feel like I'll be coughing a bit or clearing my throat a whole bunch if I stay on too long. So I'm just going to end it here. Thank you for the guys popping in. And yeah, I'm doing well. I'm working on something to post eventually. I've made a couple videos in the last couple of months, but I didn't end up posting like at least 4 of them. I'm trying to get in the habit of making content on occasion. I'm not trying to have any level of consistency specifically because I always found that a little more difficult to just maintain in a way that I enjoy it. So yeah, but I will have a video or 2 coming up soon. I don't know when. I do have a late one that was about the Zelda stuff with the Hunter Schafer that I made at the time, but I didn't upload it. There's just some that I didn't make a thumbnail, I think is why I didn't upload that for a bit. But real quick, Peter Griffin's got a question here. He said, okay, one more. If you haven't watched, called The Chair Company. It's been out for a while and worth a watch. Okay. Chair Company. I think I've seen that as I'm scrolling around. So yeah, I might check that out. I'll put that on that to the queue. Appreciate that, Peter, and appreciate that, Justin, and everybody for stepping on by. So yeah, I will see you guys later. I didn't hear any interruption of the white noise that I mentioned in my ears yet. So maybe streaming through Firefox will be how I do it in the future. And if that's the case, I might actually try to stream once every other week or once a month or something. So yeah, with that, I'll see you guys